Y'all, I don't think I've ever been this thirsty for a reunion. I was on Netflix all day like, come on, please, hurry up. But look who decided to come to work today after 5 seasons of PTO. Have y'all been watching my videos? Because y'all did good. Now, y'all missed a few things. It wasn't 100%, but it was a good like 85. It's better than 0, so I'm not mad. Y'all also was on fire for the first 45 minutes, and then y'all cooled down a little bit, and y'all wasn't supposed to cool down. Now, with all due respect, I love the nostalgia of the old couples being here, but we didn't need them. They took up too much time. It's too much going on in the present for us to be focused on the past. Get out the time machine and address the mess. But when I say the whole cast chewed up Jeremy and Sarah Ann like it was a game of Pac-Man, yum, 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 yum. And they deserved it because they came to the reunion thinking they was Bonnie and Clyde on the run. And while they was running, they pulled the muscle and got a cramp. They really asked us, did we want to see Jeremy's new girlfriend? Of course not. Then she come out in this Jigglypuff, boo. And then Sarah Ann walked over there and gave him a kiss, and the audience was like, oh wow, not the kiss. And I was so mad that Laura could not be there in person because she had to work. She was in Spain trying to be a cheetah girl in Barcelona. Okay, Dorinda. But baby, she was eating them up through that video chat between her, Vanessa, Nick, Jessica, Chelsea, and AD. They was jumping Jeremy and Sarah. Nick and Vanessa got straight to business. They said, so we heard you had a fiance who don't look like Beyonce. Who is she? What is it? His answer was whatever. Then the next question was, why did you lie about your whereabouts with Sarah Ann at 5 a.m.? And I said, oh, they're taking it. And this whole conversation was dumb to me because why do we have to force y'all to understand how y'all wrong? You was out with somebody, man, that did not pick you at 5 a.m. and that's weird. And then you met her parents the same day and went out with her the same night? Weird. And what really scuffed my Timbs and grinded my gears is that at the lake, Sarah Ann was asking for advice and trying to be all nice to Laura. Then we get to the reunion and she trying to act all hard calling Laura a pick-me. Like what? Jessica said, you're the pick-me, and Laura said, y'all some clowns. And I agree, it's a circus over there. Their relationship is on a tightrope. And then they both some liars because I remember Sarah Ann telling AD that Jeremy said that he was going to break up with Laura to be with her, and they talk about, I never said that. Yes, you did. And then I feel like Jeremy and Jimmy got beef because the way he threw Jimmy under the bus was crazy. Like, how you want him to look like the villain so you don't look bad instead of you just doing good? And AD and Clay ate this head turn when Sarah Ann tried to apologize, and she said it's null and void because you already tried to pursue the man, so what are you saying sorry for? They turned their head at the same time and looked away. I said, y'all ate that. And then they asked Sarah, why don't you talk to any of the girls? And Chelsea hit her with the finish him. Chelsea said, yeah, she likes to unfollow us but still follow our fiancés. I said, oh yeah, it's a wrap for y'all. And then they kept getting on Sarah Ann, but this part was low-key dragged out. I'm not even gonna lie. Because we know she trash, so why do we keep putting trash on top of trash? Take the trash out. They was like, yeah, you made videos saying this was all for entertainment and reality TV, so how do we know that this is real? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're going outside. But the person who went out the saddest was the brawny tissue man. Because Trevor, what was that? Looking like you work at Chase Bank. How you gonna have all these muscles and be so weak? I was so confused. I just want to know what kind of reunion you thought you was going to. A high school class reunion? You been knew these allegations was out, so why don't you have no answers? When they were playing the messages live like it was a Shakespeare musical, I was in tears. It said, ding, ding, pumpkin, ding. They really was asking him questions and he really had nothing to say. AD said, say it with your chest. And I'm like, yeah, your big old chest. He was really acting like the Hulk in all the new Avengers movies. Weak. And then when he finally got some words, he was lying. Talk about, I guess I'm toxic. Okay, Britney Spears. He really was trying to downplay the relationship. Talk about it was really nothing like that. Like you told that girl you was going to marry her and you love her. You're a loser. I feel like Nick and Vanessa was on here trying to make him an example because they was not letting up at all. Trevor even tried to call Johnny for a lifeline, like it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Talk about, y'all believe Johnny wasn't I crying? Wasn't this for real? Nick and Vanessa was standing on business. They was like, well, you here for clout in your career? Like, we don't do this on Love is Blind. We do that on Blind is Love. And then what really took me out was 10 minutes before, Trevor was like, can I leave? I want to leave. And then 10 minutes after, Nick was like, yeah, I remember you wanted to leave. You can leave now. I'm like, Nick, hold on now, because you're a little mad. And this man is still the Hulk. He will break you in half. So then it was a random sign in the audience that said AD all day. And I don't know if that was scripted or not, but it was cute. Now, Vanessa lied a little bit when she said we were all rooting for AD and Clay. I wanted AD to stop being a dummy the whole season. Like, I had moments where I did want them together because they are cute. They look good together. But if he's not going to get it together, it's a no for me, dog. AD said it was hard to watch her meltdown on TV. And she said after the wedding, her and Clay didn't talk for a bunch of weeks until Clay reached out. So Clay talking about you the love of my life. And I want you, baby. And I need you, baby. I'm in therapy, so take care of me. And then AD said, respectfully, I feel like you played in my face. You didn't want to get married. And Clay was like, I did want to get married. She was like, so why we not married then? Ate him up. But I don't really know how I feel about Clay because half of me on this side feel like he was being genuine. He really do love her and that what he was saying was real. But then the other half of me is rolling my eyes like, forget this man because he played you on national TV and he should have knew what he had before he lost it. But at the end of the day, the choice is up to AD. Either AD gonna stand for a dummy or it's gonna stand for a difference. Because at first I really thought that she was over him. She was like, yeah, I seen his mom and dad conversation and I realized that he got stuff he gotta unpack and I can't be his mom for him. I'm like, oh, okay. But then when they asked her, would you date him again? She was like, next question. I'm like, girl, are y'all dating now? I wish they would have brought up them Thanksgiving videos. That's one ball that they dropped. And then I feel like if they not together, they still having sex. Because when she was talking about Matthew, she kept looking back at Clay like she couldn't talk. Like, if that's not your man, talk freely. But also, AD, what do you be thinking about? Because why would you go on 3 or 4 dates with Matthew, a psychopath? Somebody who left you for dead in the past to go chase somebody else who left. You gonna go on a date with them? Okay. And this is why you don't be beating a dummy allegations. You did all of that just to eat rice and chicken with Michael Myers. I really love the heart-to-heart that Clay and Brett had because it shows Clay that just because you have baggage with your family don't mean that your life is over. You can still find love. Also, why was Clay sitting on that couch looking like you can do it, put your back into it? Now, I'm going to be honest. I tried to give them a fair chance this reunion because I skipped their wedding. And I mean, they cool. JCPenney's. I'm more of a Macy's. What was weird to me is that they asked them the questions about why they couldn't use condoms, and then Johnny gonna say, well, I didn't really know a lot about birth control. I just wanted it to happen. How you don't know about it and you pressing about it? And then didn't he say that all his other girlfriends had got birth control? So you just making girls get birth control and don't even know what it is. Like it's a free Slurpee at 7-Eleven on 7-Eleven. That's why I'm happy Amy stood her ground because she would have got that birth control and this man don't even know the side effects or what it causes. But I'm happy they in love. Woohoo! Now the two couples I feel like they dropped the ball on at the reunion was Brittany and Marvin Sapp and Chelsea and Hank Hill. If it wasn't for that question that one of the old couples had, they would have probably never even talked about Brittany and Kenneth. But what I got from Brittany and Kenneth is that they homegirls now. They be having slumber parties, painting nails, and talk about boys. They didn't get into Kenneth enough. Like, yeah, they talked about it, but he really was acting weird, and they did not get into it like they should have. And then where was the screenshots from the cousin? Y'all brought up every other screenshot. Where is the rainbow screenshot? I was waiting for Reading Rainbow. I was waiting for that. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. And then with Chelsea and Jimmy, they barely touched the surface. Like, Chelsea was tripping the whole time. They should have been on her. I would have been on her, for real. I feel like Jimmy and Jessica had better dialogue than Jimmy and Chelsea. Like, they talked about her exposing the messages and the Megan Fox thing, but I feel like it was just so much more to talk about. Now, the reason why I feel like it's weird that she said his business is because the argument did not require that. She started this argument for no reason. So why are you telling his business? It was emotionally manipulative because nothing that he did required her to tell his business. She just wanted to embarrass him to make her feel right, and she was wrong. Everybody defended her saying that she was in the moment, but that moment wasn't needed for that at all. The man was out for like 45 minutes celebrating his friend and then came back home. She was tripping for no reason. I don't care what y'all say. And then I like Jessica because she takes accountability and she don't want no grace for it. She was like, yes, I was super wrong for what I did with Laura when it came to Chelsea. I take full accountability and all that. Like, I respect that. But what I was confused about was the interview. Now, I understand her being mad, but she acted like he said something real bad, like real drastic. Like, girl, relax. But he definitely lied, though. He talked about 10 minutes, and then when they brought up the receipts, it said 2 hours. Like, what do you mean? But I do understand her being mad about him saying that she got a good edit, because what are you trying to insinuate? Edit that face of yours. But Jimmy was cracking one-liners all night. I said, okay, you kind of funny, Jimmy. Jeremy will be the one to show Jimmy Jessica. It was the way Chelsea's face was looking when Jessica and Jimmy was talking. She was looking like, okay, so what about me? But yeah, I feel like they dropped the ball on these four, and I feel like it's because they took too long on Sarah and Jeremy, and they took too long with the OGs. Like, we didn't even get an update on if they still together or not. Y'all, I was so irritated when I seen Izzy and his Dizzy credit. We do not care about credit or debit. I'm also surprised that Kwame and Chelsea are still together, but his reactions were funny all night. But if I have to give a grade, the reunion was a B+.